championship begins with one small step. It starts with the effort you bring. Whether you win or lose, what matters is that you have a common goal. And to reach that goal, it takes a united team acting as one. We come together to witness these heroes of the hardwood pour their heart and soul onto the court. This is Wendy's High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome inside Sylvester Basinski Gymnasium in Nanticoke, Luzerne County. Tonight, it's a Wyoming Valley Conference Division II showdown between the Tunkhannock Tigers and the Nanticoke Trojans. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob I, joined by my partner courtside, Doug Walsh. And Doug, the Trojans wrapped up Division II a couple of games ago, so we turn our attentions to the District II 4A standings. Trojans sit in second place, Tunkhannock outside looking in.
Well, if you're Nanticoke, 1-1 probably overtakes Prep and gets you the 1 seed. If you're Tunkhannock, 1-1 probably gets you in. They got an outside chance if they go 0-2.
The Tigers, knowing they need wins, have won 2 out of their last 3 games, and they're led by junior Tyler Fox.
Tyler Fox averages 17 points a game, leads the team in scoring. He's second in steals, second in assists. He's a pretty good foul shooter at 69%, and his 65 three-pointers made are by far the most on Tunkhannock's team.
Last season, Nanticoke made it all the way to the state semifinals. They returned Nate Kreitzer, and he's a big reason why they're 17-3.
Nate Kreitzer, another junior, averages 19 points a game, gets 4 assists per game. He's the leading foul shooter in Division II down here in the Wyoming Valley Conference. He makes 4 threes a game. We may see Fox and Kreitzer in a 3-point shootout tonight.
Both coaches sent you their keys to the game. Let's start with the Tigers first.
Tunkhannock wants to control tempo. Both teams want to control tempo, but Tunkhannock has to control tempo by punching the ball inside and scoring and finishing. If they can score, Nanticoke can't push the ball up the floor. If Nanticoke, on the other hand, can stop them from scoring, they can run off their defensive rebounding.
2 games to go in the season. District playoffs on the horizon. When we come back here in Nanticoke, it's the opening tip and the starting lineups.
You're watching Wendy's High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY.
The Tigers, looking for win number 12 on the season, have started this 5 most of the season. Billings and Turner in the back front court, 2 big guys, and it's Goodwin, Harder, and Fox in the back court. For Nanticoke, looking for win number 18 on the season. Krupinski at 6'4", the tallest one out there. It's Machinsky, Krupinski, Shahusky, and Kreitzer rounding out the starting 5 for the Nanticoke Trojans. Trojans average about 55 points per game. Doug, 58, 55 for Tunkhannock. But when on the defensive side, that's where it kind of differentiates a little bit. Giving up 45 or Nanticoke 49 for Tunkhannock.
Yeah, this score wants to get up into the 60s. If you're Nanticoke, you want to keep it 50 or less. If you're Tunkhannock, Nanticoke's going to try to push it up the floor as much as they can. Tunkhannock will run, but they'd play more of a punch it inside half-court offense.
Size advantage at least goes to Tunkhannock. But it's controlled by the Trojans. This is Kreitzer, the junior.
Straight man-to-man by Tunkhannock.
Scored 31 against Coughlin this year. Man-to-man defense from the Tigers. They like to shoot the 3. First one is good by the freshman, Krupinski.
Jake Krupinski, Trajan's brother, coming alive of late.
And 18 points against Crestwood. Harder with the first shot for the Tigers. Bank shot for Kreitzer. That's 2 threes right off the bat for the Trojans.
Yeah, I don't know if he called the bank, but he did bank it. Now the first possession there, Harder shot it a little quicker than Coach Spencer Lunger would have liked. So this goes to just the kind of game that Nanticoke wants. Quick shots by Tunkhannock and push the ball up the floor off your defense.
into the corner. Kreitzer stepped out of bounds. So 6-0 run, 2 threes put up from Tunkhannock. Coach John Beggs from Nanticoke disputes that call.
He's looking for an explanation from Brian Layton.
Referees tonight, Earl Harris, Bruce Whitestock, and Brian Layton. All the Wyoming Valley Conference. This is Fox at 27 against GAR. Harder shot off the mark.
See Nanticoke pushing the tempo.
Another three and another big shot. Timeout. Quick break. 9-0 Nanticoke. So a quick break while we were gone. Tunkhannock got on the board with a three-pointer of their own as Matt Goodwin hit it. So 6-point lead now for the Trojans in the first quarter.
Trojans in a 2-3 zone. They'll match up to the shooters.
Working around the inside, getting into Billings. It's a three-fest going on here in Nanticoke. We have 15 points on the board, all from outside the arc.
Yeah, 5 threes. 3 by Nanticoke and 2 by Tunkhannock. Allows Tunkhannock to get into their pressure. Tempo control, slow things down. 1-2, 1-1. They drop back into the zone.
Well, we knew both teams like to shoot threes. They both coming in, Doug, had 118 on the season. How about a conventional 2 for Kobe Baczynski?
Yeah. He saw that the defense was pressuring out around the arc. He decided to take that one all the way to the basket. And the good finish. Zone by Nanticoke is designed to keep the ball out of Turner's hands and Billings' hands in the post.
Lane left wide open to Sean Harder, the senior. Averages 12 points per game. He has 5 now.
Sean Harder can score, and you see it allows them to get into their tempo control, three-quarter court.
So down to just a 3-point game. Trajan Krupinski inside.
Good job by Kreitzer, took it into the gap, found Krupinski down low. And a good finish by Trajan Krupinski.
Earl, timeout. There's Spencer Lunger, second season here at his alma mater, doing a nice job. Also coached at Mountain View for about 3 years.
We were down pre-season. A lot of coaches picked Tunkhannock to win this division.
One of the matchups we're looking for, Doug, inside. Trajan Krupinski against the 6'8" Avery Billings.
Yeah, you see Krupinski has already scored a basket down low. Billings sometimes comes out and plays the high post, and Turner goes down low, but a lot of times you'll see Billings trying to stop Krupinski down in low. And if Billings could post up, Krupinski would have his hands full down there.
And Billings averaging just about 3.5 points per game, maybe under what they would want if you're Tunkhannock, but he does have 22 blocks. Trajan Krupinski, a nice surprise, came off the bench last year, averages, you mentioned, 15 points per game. Can shoot the threes and did have 25 against Hanover.
Yeah, he could step out and shoot the threes, but he'll work the inside, and he's so good you'll have to key on him inside, which allows the perimeter guys to spot up and get good looks for threes. You know, a lot of times, boy, you say, how does the three-point shooter get so open? Well, you got to key on the guys down inside, play them tight, and it opens up the perimeter jumpers.
So after the 9-0 start for Nanticoke, Tunkhannock has got back in this one. We know they trail right now early on. There's John Beggs, former player here, 5th season
here with Nanticoke, 84-36 overall.
Well, nobody, after losing all those players from last year's team, 7 seniors and a few transfers, nobody picked Nanticoke. This guy, by far, is doing the best job in District 2.
Right into the hands, a gift for Zahusky.
Yeah, they like Zahusky. That's what he can do. Offensive rebound. He's playing a lot more minutes lately.
Football player, baseball player. Giving him the garbage minutes.
You see the pressure out on top. Goodwin can shoot it, and so can Harder, so they want to pressure the shooters out on top.
Looks like a box and one, Doug, doesn't it?
Yeah, they may be going box and one on Fox, but
good bots out by the freshman Jake Krupinski. Trojans want to push it. You talked about it. To Trajan, and it goes out of bounds, and it will stay Trojan ball.
Tyler Fox thinks he knocked it off Krupinski's leg, but Earl Harris disagrees. Fox set.
Colby Baczynski back into the game, number 4, sophomore.
Watch for Kreitzer after.
Kreitzer, step back, got it.
Yeah, it's a set play coming out of that inbounds play. They inbound it, they wait a couple seconds, and they screen for the inbounder, which was Kreitzer. He can go to either side of the floor, depending on where the ball comes in. And good screen by Trajan Krupinski, got him open.
Friendly roll put in for Harder. Harder has 7 taken away. That's Harder 2 in a row.
Yeah, Sean Harder doing a good job. He's single-handedly keeping Tunkhannock in this ball game.
Full court press. Kuczynski. Kreitzer looks like one of the quickest guards in the district. I saw him play against Myers. I was very impressed.
Well, you see they try to spot up in transition too. They always know where Kreitzer is trailing the play. They tried to get him a 3, but good closeout by Harder wouldn't let him.
First foul of the evening is going to go against Billings. Big 6'8" player, his first foul, team's first foul. Coming up 90 seconds left in this first quarter, excuse me.
Tunkhannock back playing man-to-man.
Good defense. Trajan Krupinski will go to the line to shoot 2.
You see good defense by Evan Turner going straight up in the air. You're allowed to go straight up and come down. Offensive player initiated the contact, so a good no call by the officials.
They actually got Billings on it, hit his second foul. Krupinski's first one doesn't go in. Trajan shooting 68% on the season, so Billings will have to take a seat. They go to their bench, and they bring in Jack Chilson, a 6'5" freshman, number 11.
Got a lot of size, Tunkhannock. One guy's bigger than the next.
7 points for Trajan Krupinski. 7-point lead for Nanticoke.
Nanticoke goes back man-to-man. Looks like they go man after makes and zone after misses.
Turnovers and mistakes haunting Tunkhannock the last few games.
Yeah, they're not taking care of the basketball. You can't give, especially a team like Nanticoke, this many opportunities. That was kind of an unforced error, too. All they did was go back door. He just couldn't handle a pass.
They forced a turnover. Coach Beggs pleading with his team.
Nanticoke returns the favor. Trajan Krupinski, a little errant with that pass.
Andy Kozlowski, a sophomore, comes in for Trajan Krupinski. Not one senior on this Nanticoke team.
And I was talking to a couple fans here. That's the first time in their history that they did not have a senior on the ball club.
Goodwin feeling it. No good. Still time. Kreitzer will slow it down. He'll be matched up against Harder.
Well, there's 25 seconds to go. It looks like they're going to go for one. It surprises me. Usually a team that plays up tempo would try to get maybe 2 more shots with 35 seconds to go, but they're holding for one definitely with 12 to shoot.
They opened up with a 9-point lead. Then they end with the same. Kreitzer down the lane, little spin, no good. Half-court shot, Harder, almost front of the rim. So the Trojans with a 7-point lead over the Tigers after one. Six three-pointers in that first quarter, and the Nanticoke Trojans lead at home by 7, 19-12 over Tunkhannock.
Sean Harder doing his best job to keep Tunkhannock in there for the first quarter. But 7-point lead when you're trying to go slow, it's kind of hard to make that up.
Jake Krupinski, the leading scorer from Nanticoke, he has 7. Nick Kreitzer has 6. 9 points for Sean Harder, keeping Tunkhannock in the game. Right inside a wide open Evan Turner.
Yeah, that's where the ball's got to go if you're Tunkhannock. You're going to have to go down and feed the post players this entire second quarter, see if you can get back in it. That's only the second time the ball went into the post.
Talking to Tunkhannock earlier in the week, Doug, they are very confident that they could play with anybody in the league and anybody in the district, and I guess you can see that when you have that much size and some talent, but they just haven't played well, as we see Turner with the easy layup.
Well, you see, they have a lot of talent. You're absolutely right. They all can score. They just go through droughts, and they turn the ball over, as you said before. And that combination, it's hard to recover from that. But yeah, they're solid. They're a good ball club.
And with that size, you would think they could play with anybody. Rights are going to be called for a travel.
Well, Turner has to stay on the floor. You see this, he's a big kid inside. He's thick. He's about 6'3", 6'4", and he's been in foul trouble quite often this year. So if he could stay on the floor, they could punch it inside to him, and he could play defense and rebound.
Luke Myers, number 12, freshman in the game. Inside the Turner. Fans want to foul, nothing called. Let them play. Way off the mark, it was Harder. It goes over to Nanticoke.
Notice they're crowding Tyler Fox on the perimeter, not letting him get anything off. They're guarding him 2 or 3 feet beyond the three-point line. Hasn't scored yet.
Last meeting just about 1 year ago, Valentine's Day, but it wasn't very special for Tunkhannock. They lost huge, 75-37. Again, in this division, you only play each other one time. You also play against Division I and Division III at some points.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'll talk a little bit about the schedule later on. We'll get to it. But, yeah, the division was almost decided before he even started to play anybody in the division.
Going to stay with the Tigers. Shaking up was Trajan Krupinski, going slowly down the court, grabbing at his calf coming up.
You better keep an eye on that. They don't want to lose him.
Fox has the ball, still has not scored. He's their leading scorer. They're going to get Zahusky coming over and getting a foul against Turner.
Well, you see, Bob, it looks like Spencer Lunger preached to his players in the timeout there. Let's get the ball into the post. That's what we came here to do. That's what our philosophy was. And the first quarter hardly went in there at all.
Your big guy, though, Avery Billings, on the bench with 2 fouls. He'll sit out most of this first half, I'm sure.
Well, every possession, Turner has touched it in this second quarter so far.
Fox unable to find anything. Going to go off of Zahusky's leg. Excuse me, Baczynski, number 4, and it will stay with the Tigers.
Boy, a real good job by Jack Chilson, pounding the offensive glass and knocked it off his leg.
Still a 4-point lead for Nanticoke. You see the 3-pointers made coming in. Both have put up some already.
Yeah.
4 for Nanticoke and 2 for the Tigers.
They like to shoot. Both teams like to shoot threes. Like to spread the floor, make it guard a lot of area.
Pace now I would think, on Tunkhannock's side.
Yes, they're trying to slow it down. Looks like they're, and credit Nanticoke's defense. They're not letting them get anything, but yeah, this pace definitely favors Tunkhannock.
Screen for Harder, turnaround, got it. 11 for him. Senior that scored 27 against Montrose and 20 against Northwest this year.
Well, he's certainly doing his part, and every time Turner has touched it in this second quarter, something good has happened as a result.
They're doing a nice job on the defensive side now on the three-pointers. Nanticoke's gone a little cold.
Yeah, Spencer Lunger running up and down that sideline almost as if he's out there on the floor. He's imploring his guys.
Well, he's young enough.
Oh, good steal.
Kreitzer in. His first 2 of the quarter, he has 8.
Goodwin got a little careless with it. Kreitzer picked it from behind.
So 5-point lead now for the Trojans. 1 point, they did lead 9-0.
Harder wants a high screen and roll with Turner, but didn't get out there.
Into Turner. Going the other way. Foul's going to be called against the freshman, Chilson, on the charge.
Yeah, good take. Adams set up there. He knew he was coming. Stood in there and took the hit. If you take the hit, you should get the call.
Goodwin takes a seat. Nick Raposa comes in, number 15, a 5'8" junior. Still a three-quarter press for Tunkhannock.
Yeah, designed just to slow Nanticoke down. Doing a good job of it.
Rapinski, Jake caught. 3-on-3. Not sure about that take by Harder. Maybe should have gone to the basket. And it's a TV timeout. 3:36 remaining. 21-16 your score here in Nanticoke. So Nanticoke has wrapped up the division. But Doug, we want to talk about this. You have a different perspective on the standings and what maybe the Wyoming Valley Conference can do.
Well, before they even played a game in Division II, Nanticoke had a 2-game lead. After 1 game, 3 teams were already eliminated. What I would like to see to do is everybody in Division I play a 3-game set with everybody. Everybody in Division II play a 3-game set with everybody. And everybody in Division III play a 3-game set with everybody. Home and home, and 1 on a neutral site. You could get double headers and triple headers on the neutral sites, and there wouldn't be any ties. But nobody's asking me about it.
No, nobody's asking you, but you put it out there. Something to think about, though.
Yeah, everybody plays a 3-game set with everybody in their division.
The way it stands now, these 2 teams meet once a year.
Yeah.
And they're in the same division.
Right. And you know, if you're Nanticoke, you're thrilled because you've come into the guys playing in your division. You have 2-game lead. 1 team was already out. Berwick was already eliminated before they even played a division game. You know, and then after 1 game, Myers was out and GAR was out, and Nanticoke had clinched at least the tie.
Yep. Now it's all about districts. Tunkhannock's trying to get there once again. Last year they lost to Scranton Prep in the first round as Turner gets another bucket.
Well, I think they'd like to have a rematch with the Cavaliers. If you remember back at this Lackawanna Union Center,
that's Nanticoke you were talking about, right?
Yeah, Nanticoke was having their way with Prep, and the roof leaked, and they had to halt the game with Nanticoke up 14 or 15, and then when they came back, Prep got them.
Right now, you look at the standings, it's 1-2, Prep and Nanticoke.
Yeah, Prep has Honesdale left. That's not going to increase their margin in the standings. If Nanticoke could split, go 1-1 or 2-0, they would leapfrog them and be the #1 seed, no doubt about it.
Trojans have Wyoming area on Thursday, I believe, as Trajan Krupinski lays it in.
Yeah, the way the scoring system goes, if you beat Tunkhannock, they're going to have 11 wins, and if you beat Wyoming area, they're already above 12 wins, so you get more points for. Oh, look at Evan Turner.
Okay,
he took 2 guys out.
Yeah, Trajan Krupinski grabbing his right ankle. That would be a big loss if they lose him. Second leading scorer on their team. He already was banged up. And Turner is a big guy in there. I mean, he's a man.
Yeah.
Number 34.
Well, he ran into Trajan Krupinski, and I think he ran into somebody and knocked him into Trajan Krupinski. Here's the dump in from Nate Kreitzer.
Trajan has 4 points. Checking his right foot.
Yeah, you're right, Bob. That'd be a serious blow to Nanticoke if they should lose him.
Well, not only for the season, but for districts right coming up next week. Yeah. As a 1 or 2 seed. I don't know if we'll see him then the rest of the way. I mean, this game doesn't really matter. And they're calling over for help.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign.
He looks like he's in pain, yeah. Oh, very unfortunate for the Trojans. Hopefully he's okay and he can bounce back.
He's trying to put some pressure on it, and anybody that's twisted their ankle before knows.
Yeah, I think when Evan Turner came in, he knocked Luke Myers from Nanticoke into Trajan Krupinski, I do believe. Certainly he was going for the rebound. It wasn't intentional by any stretch.
So a big loss, second leading scorer on the bench now for Nanticoke. Tunkhannock, let's see if they can take advantage. Down 5, 90 seconds left in the first half.
Well, you know, too, Bob, after the start that Nanticoke had, you look up at the score, and before that basket it was 5, and now it's 7 again, but Tunkhannock's okay.
Tunkhannock coming off a loss, 65-49 to a very good Dallas team, a 5A school. That size, getting offensive boards for the Tigers.
Well, this is the 3rd possession on this trip.
Harder had the size, couldn't make the basket. Nate Kreitzer, he hasn't scored in a while. He has 8 points.
Colby Paczynski thought about a 3.
Do they hold it for the last shot again?
Yeah, it looks like they may be. A little uncharacteristic for Nanticoke, but with a 7-point lead, you'd like to go into the locker room up at least 7, maybe more, should they score here. Some fans telling the guys not to shoot, doing a little coaching on his
Well,
side.
they know their basketball down here. I mean,
Yes,
the history speaks for itself as you look up at the banners.
Yes, it does.
Kreitzer with a move, baseline. Throws it away, though, 4 seconds left. Boy, what a quickness from Nate Kreitzer.
Yeah, he's so quick off the dribble. Now, if you're Tunkhannock and you could score here, you'd feel pretty good about yourself.
Harder in the backcourt, still time. Oh, they're gonna get a double dribble. Don't see that called too often.
Yeah, he was gonna shoot it, and then the defense came and he put 2 hands on the ball. Good call. He did double dribble. Now can Nanticoke get one off with 1.1 to play?
Get it to Kreitzer. If anybody can, he can. That is in! 2 games in a row that Nanticoke has made a half-court shot at the end of the first half. This time it's Nate Kreitzer. Before it was Dylan Sahusky against Myers. So with that, a 10-point lead for the Trojans as they head into the locker room at home here in Nanticoke. When Doug and I come back, we'll talk about a game we have on Thursday with Binghamton University. That's on the other side here on MyTV.
You're watching Wendy's High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome back to Basinski Gymnasium, Nanticoke High School. We're in Luzerne County. Bob I, Doug Walsh, enjoying a great game courtside, 10-point lead for the hometown Trojans. Well, Doug, coming up on Thursday right here on MyTV, we have Stony Brook taking on Binghamton University. The Bearcats have 3 local connections there. Coach Tommy Dempsey, Tim Rose, a guard. He's a junior out of Scranton Prep. And J.C. Schau from Appleton Heights. He's a junior. He's the Bearcats' leading scorer. You're very familiar with them. They're not having a great season. 10-16 in overall, 1-10 in conference play.
Yeah, they're struggling a little bit. They can't seem to find some scoring punch. They're losing some close ones, some tough ones, but hopefully they can bounce back on Thursday night and maybe steal one from Stony Brook.
So it's been a tough season for the Bearcats. Yesterday I had a chance to talk to all 3 of our local connections, and here's what they had to say about this season and about how they're playing.
Yeah, I mean, we got off to a really good start, and then we've struggled in conference play. The league's really strong, and we lost a lot of close games early in conference play. I think it took away some of our confidence, and you know, as we've just been in search of a win. We seem to be in the games every night, and I think we have a very competitive team. But we've had a hard time closing some games, and now we find ourselves in a tough spot as we're chasing down some wins here late in the season to get into the conference tournament and keep that dream alive of playing in the NCAA tournament.
So what do you think the difference has been since the non-league play versus league play? It's a tough league, no doubt.
Well, the league's been strong, probably one of the strongest years since we've been in top to bottom. So I think there's a lot of competitive teams in the league. And then, you go through some tough things. We went through some illness. We went through some injuries. We have some guys playing. We have some guys playing through some injuries. So, and every team does. It's not really that it's an excuse, but it's just the reality. It slowed our momentum. Early in January, we had a lot of guys. We had a couple guys who were sick and a couple guys who were playing through injuries. It slowed our momentum. We lost a few games. Again, I think that zipped us of some confidence. And we had some games that were right there for us to close out that we didn't. And it just, it gets hard. And then all of a sudden you find yourself searching for wins here in February.
How about your season? After coming off of the injury last year, looks like you'll get finally a full season of college basketball in. How's that feel?
I'm very thankful for the opportunity to play. Definitely something that I don't take for granted. Not that I took it for granted before getting hurt, but definitely after suffering the injuries and having to be out for so many games, getting the opportunity to play, and something that I've really enjoyed.
Overall, I don't think I'm having a great year. Along with our wins, I think I'm a part of that because I haven't been playing well. But I think I need to keep improving on my shooting and definitely my defense. I've been a liability on defense. I don't know if it's legs, but I don't know. The guys are quick out there. They seem like they're another step ahead of me. But I just gotta keep focusing, keep grinding, and just do what I need to do to help my team win.
Doug, you've seen this team all year. You'll be on the call with Tim Hyman. We take that feed from ESPN3 on Thursday. 5 games left. What do they have to do to get to the tournament?
Well, they're probably going to have to win 3 out of 5, maybe 4 out of 5. 3 out of 5 might get them in, but Stony Brook, from 2 through 9, everybody's about equal, even though the records don't say that. Stony Brook has to keep winning to keep pace, maybe get a home game. They're still not mathematically in, so they'd have to win as well.
This is a Bearcat team that is very close, though, to being one of the better teams in the America East.
They lost an awful lot of close games, and as we said, Vermont is definitely the best team in the conference, hands down. But 2 through 9, it's anybody's guess. The one win Binghamton has is against Albany, who's already a 4 seed. So every game's close, every game's competitive. There's no easy ones in that conference.
So Thursday, right here on MyTV at 7 p.m. it's Stony Brook and Binghamton. When Doug and I return here in Nanticoke, we'll show you highlights from the first half. 10-point lead for the hometown Trojans.
You're watching Wendy's High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY.
We are back, a 10-point lead for the Trojans. Doug, time now to take a look at some first half highlights. 9-0 run early on, 3 threes put up from the Trojans.
Well, here's a 2-pointer on the way in, but they had already scored 3 threes. Jake Krapinski had already had 2, and Nate Kreitzer already had 1. And then you see the dump down into Turner. Turner with the nice post move and the fadeaway. And that's the way the ball has to go in if you are Tunkhannock. It's got to go inside. Then you see the kick out by Chilson, and he finds Turner down low all by himself for the easy one. And again, it's got to go inside if you're Tunkhannock. This is the nice wraparound pass to Trajan Krapinski from Nate Kreitzer. And the pull up by Chilson.
So Kreitzer leads it in, and that is Trajan Krapinski. He'll be out the rest of the game. Ice, you see it on the ankle. He's the Trojans' leading scorer. No word on the severity of the injury, but when you have ice on it, you definitely know it's an ankle.
Well, that makes now this second half much more important for Nanticoke, because as we said, if they go 1-1, Bob, in the last 2, they'll get the 1 seed. So maybe they could pull this one out, and then you could rest Krapinski, and then he get a couple days off. So he might get a week or so, or 8, 9, 10 days to see if that thing will heal for him.
And if you're the Tigers looking for wins to get into the districts, this is your opportunity to upset.
You're absolutely right. This is your opportunity right here.
They're going to get a travel called on Colby Brzezinski, the sophomore. Of course, Nanticoke, even though they're 17-3, they are a young team.
Yeah.
No seniors, some juniors. They've started a freshman, a couple sophomores.
Yeah.
How they have the pressure now. Their second leading scorers on the bench. How do they respond?
Well, there's only 2 guys with experience too, Bob. As you said, they lost 7 seniors and 3 other guys had transferred. So Kreitzer and Trajan Krapinski, who's on the bench now, are the only guys with really a lot of experience. So the rest of these guys are kind of thrown into the fire now. So they got their opportunity. Unfortunately, it's at a bad time for them, but they're going to have to produce.
Well, one job, Trojans are doing a nice job on this guy, is Tyler Fox finally gets on the scoreboard. His first 2 of the game, he's the Tigers' leading scorer coming in.
Well, he's patient. He let the game come to him. He didn't try to force anything in the first half. I imagine you're going to see him take some more shots in this second half.
Trap up front for Tunkhannock. They get down low. Can't leave Jake Krapinski open. He likes to shoot the threes.
Yeah, that's his 3rd of the night after opening up first 2. We got a 2. He looks like his foot was on the line. So they're going to call that a 2-pointer.
Coach Beggs, yep, what are you going to do? You see it one way, the official saw it the other.
Well, and that's why it's good to have that 3rd official, Bob, the C. They called him the C. He could see right across that floor, and he saw the foot on the line. 2 officials may not have caught that.
A lot of hand-to-hand combat on the inside, and they're going to get, I believe, Evan Turner down low.
It looks like he knew it. They were jockeying for position down low, and he got a little bit too rough.
His second. Avery Billings is in the game, the 6'8" junior from Tunkhannock. He has 2 fouls as well. Big offensive board for Nanticoke. This is Colby Brzezinski, a sophomore.
You see Kreitzer takes it into the gap, and he knows where all the shooters are. Brzezinski had spotted up in the corner, and Kreitzer knew where he was the entire time, found him, just didn't fall, but they get another possession with the offensive rebound.
Kreitzer with the hop. They're going to get a travel.
Yeah, good call. Both feet have to land at exactly the same time. One can't beat the other on the floor, and I think that was a good call by Brian Layton.
We talked about the size advantage for Tunkhannock. When you look out there, you can just see the size advantage.
Yeah, with Kreitzer and Luke Myers, they don't. They look like they might be in 8th grade. They're so small, but yeah, everybody. Almost, I think, all except for Fox, the other 4 guys are all taller than anybody that's out there for Nanticoke.
Trojan foul, Drake Krapinski, the freshman, his first. 1 foul each. Blocked away for Baczynski. Nice handwork on the boards from the sophomore.
Boy, you see why they like Colby Baczynski.
Kreitzer got it. Picked up where he left off at the end of the first half when he hit a three-pointer at the buzzer.
Harder was on him, and he left him. And he's so smooth, Kreitzer.
Biggest lead of the night for the Trojans.
Yeah, Harder trying to post up Kreitzer, and Kreitzer got his hand in there and knocked it away, caused the jump ball. You would think that they would go zone. Yeah, I see he backed off him just a little bit there and gave him just enough room, and Kreitzer's a smart player, saw it.
So on the possession, it goes over to the Tigers. Tunkhannock in orange, Trojans of Nanticoke in white.
Yeah, you would think Nanticoke would go zone here, Bob, but they're not. They're going man-to-man with the size advantage.
Billings' first field goal.
So far, so good. You still have an 11-point lead. Andy Kozlowski in the game, too. It looks like he was a little nervous handling that ball.
Well, when you're feeling it and you're a shooter, you keep shooting.
Yes, you do. It's an old saying, you shoot to stay hot, you shoot to get hot, you shoot to stay hot. And certainly Kreitzer is staying hot.
Now, if you're Tunkhannock, you'd have to know you get out there. Goodwin trying to match it.
Well, that one was pretty deep. They thought they were out far enough, but that was pretty deep, that last one.
I call that Jerry McNamara far. Billings for the dunk. He's blocked. Gets the ball back, and there's a foul on the floor, and 3:24 remaining in this third quarter.
Yeah, they're going to get Luke Myers on a foul.
We'll take our media timeout. It's a 14-point advantage for Nanticoke with Trajan Kaprinski on the bench. And when you have this guy, you're always in the game. .4 lead for Nanticoke over Tunkhannock. Welcome you back in. Baczynski Gymnasium.
Nanticoke zone this time versus the out of bounds under.
Goodwin, back of the rim. Back out for Fox. Got it.
Yeah, good job by Sean Harder running that one down. Billings got a hand on it. Harder recovered it, and he found Fox open for a three ball.
Is an 11-point lead. Too hard for Tunkhannock to get back in this one.
Well, with the style that they want to play, it kind of feeds into Nanticoke's hands, but you're going to have to play up-tempo now and play Nanticoke's game and see if you can claw back into it.
Krapinski, no good. Huge offensive board.
Oh, Dylan Josky.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Jake Krapinski with his brother right behind him. Misses that three.
Now, if you're Tunkhannock now, you want to get 2 or 3 good possessions before the quarter.
Start with that. Sean Harder, three-pointer, down to an 8-point lead. Timeout. Trojans, John Beggs, full timeout. Their first of the game. 2:13 remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah. He sees that it's kind of slipping a little bit. Johnny Beggs wants to talk it over. You see Tunkhannock's schedule there. Loss versus Dallas. Nanticoke beat Dallas to give them their second loss. They only have 2 losses on the year. Nanticoke is being one of them.
Biggest loss that Tunkhannock talked about, and they did not play well. Each player said they didn't, was that loss to Pittston area.
Yeah, you shouldn't lose to Pittston area, right? That's for sure. And, you know, hopefully it won't cost them a trip to the playoffs. But if they do go 0-2 and they don't make the playoffs, that's the one they'll be looking at.
Yeah, but they have Berwick again on Thursday. We saw those District 2, 4A, just 8 teams get in.
Yeah, you know, GAR, Myers, and Berwick are in precarious situations. If one of them goes 2-0, they're in and the other ones are out. If they all go 1-1, they are playing each other a little bit too, you know. So if they all go 1-1, you need an abacus to figure it all out. But only one of them would get in should Tunkhannock split. Honesdale, I think, may be already in, but they're on the bubble as well. So there's 4 teams: Honesdale, GAR, Myers, and Berwick, all trying to get into one spot.
What a pass, and in and out from the freshman. What a pass by Baczynski, though. Harder, the spin. Gets it back. Tied up, and they're going to call a hold.
You see Tunkhannock doing a real good job now in the offensive glass with Trajan Krupinski over there on the sideline with a hurt ankle. They're getting inside as much as they want.
First foul on Dylan Jahusky. Tunkhannock retains possession, down just 8 now. They trail is by as many as 14 just about 2 minutes ago. And how about Tyler Fox, right place, right time.
Yeah. Threw the first one up short, bounced off the front rim right to him. He said, well, I'll take it again.
Fox didn't score in the first half. He has 7 here in the third quarter.
Now you see Coach Beggs trying to get some younger guys and some new guys some playing time. Obviously they have to with Krupinski on the bench, but
knocked away, turnover.
Sean Harder playing a real good game at both ends of the floor.
Back out to Fox, they'll set it up. You would think they're going to try to go low, definitely height advantage.
I was just going to say that to you, Bob. This ball has to go into the post if you're Tunkhannock.
Well, it didn't.
Yeah.
We're thinking one thing, they're thinking another.
I kind of like the way you're thinking. I think it should have went into the post. And should go into the post for the rest of the game.
Well, if you want to shoot on the outside, go inside out.
Correct. You can play inside, outside. Yeah, it's a good point, Bob. Yep. They may be holding for one. Looks like they are. You know, all 3 quarters, Nanticoke has held the ball out for the last shot.
Harder back out. They're going to force the issue. In and out. Still time. Harder might have got fouled, but no whistle, and we end the third quarter with Tunkhannock getting back in this one. They trail by just 6 now as we head to the 4th. With the Nanticoke second leading scorer on the bench with an apparent ankle injury, Tunkhannock goes on an 8-0 run to end the third quarter, and they trail Nanticoke now by just 6 after being down by 14 at one point.
Yeah, you wonder what's going through Krupinski's mind there. You know, he's played the entire season. He's played great. You just hope that injury doesn't sideline him now that the playoffs are here.
That injury coming in the second quarter. He's been on that bench ever since. He hasn't moved.
You know, Bob, ever since like midway through the second quarter, the tempo has changed and it's gone into Tunkhannock's favor, as you mentioned.
I think they just keep working it down low. If they can get open shots, they definitely have the height advantage.
Yeah, and their defense has picked up, and their offensive rebounding has gotten better since that time too.
This guy Kreitzer, though, is keeping the Trojans in the game. He's their leading scorer.
They're posting up the smallest player on the floor, Luke Myers at the high post.
Baczynski knocked around, and that's a foul. It's going to go on Harder, as Myers was trying to run it down.
Yeah, Myers with the good hustle. Kept it alive, and Harder tackled him almost. Pretty clean game so far. Not too many fouls.
That's Harder's third foul. He's their leading scorer. He has 13 in the game.
Yeah, they can ill afford to lose him, so he better be careful.
Myers just a freshman. Rapinski a freshman. So most freshmen around a freshman team are playing JV ball, not here in Nanticoke. They're in the varsity game.
Yeah, gaining valuable experience, that's for sure. They're being a little deliberate. I don't know if they're trying to hold it out. I guess not. Look how Myers runs another one
Well,
down.
when you're getting offensive rebounds,
The smallest guy in the gymnasium, he just got 2 offensive rebounds.
That's got to drive a coach crazy.
It does drive a coach crazy. You're absolutely right. It looks like they're actively running clock, though. Maybe trying to pull them out a little higher. One thing about this, though, is you get a little complacent, and you get then you have to score. You need to score. It becomes that much harder.
Baginski 3 times, the 3rd time is the charm. Hits a 3.
Well, you got to credit Luke Myers, though, for getting them a 2nd and a 3rd possession. They ran over 2 minutes off that clock in that possession, and they knocked down a 3. Excellent job by Nanticoke.
Evan Turner will shoot from out there. Not a lot, though. Goodwin will, and he matches the 3. Timeout called by Spencer Lunger. It's a full timeout. We'll take a break. 6-point lead for the Trojans here in the 4th quarter.
You see the 3-point shot there, and matched by Goodwin. Goodwin's a pretty good 3-point shooter for Tunkhannock. Shoots 28%, but he's made 29 on the year. So he doesn't mind shooting that. He's a bigger kid. Tough matchup for a defense because he's usually has a bigger guy on him, and you want to draw that bigger guy out deep. A lot of bigs can't get out there and defend all the way on top. If you're Tunkhannock, you're hanging around. You feel okay. You're only down 6.
Student into the Olympic spirit. Dressed in red, white, and blue.
Nanticoke's always a good draw. They always get good fans. They always get a lot of people at their games. They have for years.
Absolutely have. Celebrating their 50th season here with Nanticoke basketball and Nanticoke High School.
It's a pretty storied local career, at least anywhere. They do have one state championship in 1961.
Well, that was John S. Fine. So right there, 3 state titles. 23, 1926, 1935, and 1961.
The 1969 team they thought was the best with the Bilko brothers, and they got upset by Steelton High Spire in a game that they still talk about 50 years later, that they think they got robbed. There was something like 25 walks called on Nanticoke in that game.
Did you ref?
I don't think I called 25 walks in my career. Yeah, they still talk about it like the fix was in. Steelton High Spire went on to, they ended up losing in the state final, but that was in the quarters. But Nanticoke was having their way with them, and then they still feel they got robbed.
Well, this is not the way we've seen Nanticoke play, but with Trajan Kropinski on the bench, second leading scorer for Nanticoke, this is what the Trojans want to do when they're up 6.
Good hustle by Fox to get a block on that shot, but they couldn't corral the carom, so Nanticoke gets another possession. Carter runs it down.
Into Turner. And they're going to call an offensive foul on Turner's Kreitzer. May have taken the plunge. 3:54 We'll take a break now as we go to the break. 6-point lead. 6-point lead for the Trojans. The history speaks for itself when you're in Sylvester Basinski Gymnasium in Nanticoke. There you see the district titles. And Doug, when you're talking about Trojan basketball, you're talking about a history that has 14 Wyoming Valley Conference championships, 14 district championships, 22 trips to the playoffs, and a state championship runner-up in 1983.
Yeah, that state championship runner-up was with a guy by the name of Paul Grafrovich. They lost to Erie Strong Vincent in that final game, but he averaged 32 points plus a game without a three-point line, Bob. That is incredible.
That is incredible. And he went on to play where?
Wichita State. Yep. And he still holds a lot of records down there as well. And you talk about the gymnasium here. Sylvester Basinski Gymnasium. He coached for 30 plus years here.
6-point lead for Nanticoke as they turn it over and give Tunkhannock a chance. How big a call was that charge? An offensive foul. We're going to get another offensive, no, a hold on the floor. That was a big call in the game.
Well, you see, it got Turner his third, but you know they were probably going to score on that. Yeah, so it was a good take by Kreitzer. Maybe it was an acting job. Maybe he flopped. Maybe he got bumped, but it doesn't matter now. They called an offensive charge. Now you see, Coach Beggs came back with some more regulars now. Got good minutes out of some subs.
Up top, going to call another foul. That will be the 5th on the Trojans.
Yeah, 2 hands on the ball handler. Jake Krupinski had 2 hands on him. That's automatic.
Second foul on Jake Krupinski. Inside the Turner. Are they going to count it? They're going to count it. Evan Turner gets the bucket, can go to the line for the 3-point play, and that ignites the Tunkhannock bench.
Yeah, good defense. He fouled him, and Turner was strong enough and held on to it. The good finish. Here it is again. You see, he gets bumped. He hangs on, and he throws it in.
Turner, 64% foul shooter, goes to the line for the first time tonight.
You know, more importantly, with 3:09 to go, the next foul on Nanticoke puts Tunkhannock in the bonus on the road. So that's a good thing for Tunkhannock. Four-point game, just under 3. Harder thinks he had all ball, but Bruce Weinstock said, no, you hit him in the arm.
That's Harder's 4th, I believe.
Yeah, they can afford to lose him. Now he's got to play smart. That was a reach. He cannot reach for the rest of the game because you're going to need him on the floor.
4-point lead for Nanticoke. They led by 14 in the third quarter. Goes off the foot, they say, of Harder. I was going to say Kreitzer. Officials say Harder.
They're going to look at this, and Kreitzer put his finger in his face. Probably should have got teed up. The ball was definitely off Kreitzer. He was going the other way.
Spencer Lunger, second season at Tunkhannock. Team on the rise. They have some size coming back for next season as well.
Nanticoke is 5 out. They're going to open it up as much as they can, and they're going to try to drive it to the basket. Harder's on Kreitzer. That's a tough matchup with the 4 fouls.
Big board for Tunkhannock, down 4. Three-pointer, good. Tyler Fox, 1-point lead now for Nanticoke. Timeout on the floor. We'll take a break ourselves. 2:10 left in this game here in Trojan land. Are they worried, the Trojan fans? Now the lead just one. Tunkhannock has erased the 10-point advantage from halftime. Doug goes 28-18.
Yeah, they're on a 20-11 run. And you know, as we said before, if you start to slow the ball down, slow the game down, and run clock off, and then when you need to score, it's that much harder.
I think Tunkhannock's trying to foul. They're not getting the call. That's a reach as Tyler Fox reads around, and that will put the freshman, I believe, on the line to shoot 1-1.
You know, Nanticoke is a pretty good shooting foul team. Yeah, they're not going to get the bonus just yet. They got one more to give.
One more, okay.
And then the second one will put them on the line.
They have 2 left.
You know, if you're going to start to foul intentionally, I used to like to put some subs in the game, so you're.
Well, Harder
starters.
can't foul. He has 4, and the timeout called by the bench of Nanticoke will stay right here.
Yeah, Coach Johnny Beggs was in a little bit of, saw his guy was in a little bit of a pickle, called a 30-second timeout. But as we were saying before, if you're holding the ball out for a long time and you're not even trying to score or trying to, you kind of lose your rhythm. You kind of lose your tempo, and then you try to, then you need to score. You got to turn it back on. It's a little hard to do.
We talk about the history here. We know Nanticoke has won 13 district titles. Doug Walsh, what was the last one they won? What year? And who was the coach?
Oh boy, I have no idea.
You can look up on the board. It's right over there.
I'll say Silbazinski was the coach.
No.
No.
Okay. The coach is here. You shook his hand before.
Oh, Kenny Bartuska.
Okay.
Kenny Bartuska. So I'm going to say 2003 or so, maybe.
I think that might be right. Let's see the answer. The answer in our Geisinger CareWorks trivia, 2003.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right.
Ken Bartuska.
All right.
Won. He's the athletic director here, and we want to thank Nanticoke for welcoming us in here. And we've had a great game so far. 1-point lead for the Trojans. Turnover. A chance for Tunkhannock to take the lead, which they have not done all night long. And we're going to have a foul by Kreitzer up top, and that will go 1-1 to Tyler Fox.
Tyler Fox is the best foul shooter on the team with the active players. He shoots close to 70%, so you got the right guy on the line if you're Tunkhannock.
Nanticoke led 9-0 at the start of this game. Tunkhannock has battled all the way back and now can take the lead with 1 foul shot from their leading scorer. And Tunkhannock has their first lead of the night.
Yeah, 22-11. They've outscored them in this second half, Bob.
Tunkhannock needs a win to make the district playoffs. We're going to jump ball and we'll go over to the Tigers.
Matty Goodwin got his hand in there and forced the tie up, and they have the possession. Yeah, they're going to foul immediately. Nanticoke is fouling immediately. Again, putting Fox back on the line.
John Beggs.
I think John Beggs is telling the officials, we're not trying to foul there, we're just trying to trap. It looks as though maybe the referees may have thought they were fouling on purpose, so he's explaining to them, we're not really fouling on purpose.
Trojans led by 14 in the third quarter. They trail now by 2 at home with their second leading scorer on the bench as Fox just made 4 in a row. Timeout Tigers. And the Tunkhannock bench, knowing they need a win to make districts, explodes.
Yeah, that's why they were a little bit excited. They were kind of down on their luck a little bit before. They have an outside chance if they had lost both games, but you don't want to leave it into somebody else's hands. So 1-1 definitely gets them in. 2-0 definitely gets them in.
A win against the second team that has 17 wins gets you the points.
Yeah.
And that's the rating system at its best, I think.
Yeah. This certainly will get them in with a win over Nanticoke. There's no doubt about that. You're right with the amount of wins that Nanticoke has.
That's why you got to love the rating system. The way District 2 is doing it right now.
Yeah, it's certainly much better than it was before, and you got to credit Tom Nowahowski from Mid-Valley for coming up with this system. But
you get rewarded for a win over a better team.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It's a much better system than it was. It was a little bit catch as catch can before that, but it certainly makes these games a little bit more meaningful down the stretch as well.
Don't count Nanticoke out, not with Nate Kreitzer out there. He can hit from Jerry McNamara range, and I'm talking NBA threes.
Yeah, you can. You don't need a three right now. Certainly, if one presents itself, you take it.
The freshman turns it over, and Tunkhannock has the ball.
Yeah, and they're going to get Jake Krupinski with the foul.
And if that is 22, that will be his 5th. So with Trajan Krupinski on the bench, his brother now fouls out.
Yeah, you see, here it is. He picks it up, and he's on his arm. Looks like Brian Layton had the best angle there. Putting Jack Chilson on the line to shoot 1-on-1.
That's the 9th foul. So replacing Krupinski, Kozlowski is sophomore. You know, though, if you're Nanticoke, you need to be challenged, I think, at the end of the season, because you're going to be challenged in districts.
Yeah.
Might as well know now what you have.
Yeah.
The freshman with a big bucket.
Coming into this game after the loss of Hazleton, they had won 7 straight and 10 of 11. So, you know, sometimes a loss might not be the worst thing at this time of year, especially when it.
But the biggest loss could be on the bench with ice.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Kreitzer. What can he do? That's the right call.
Yeah, he traveled. Yeah, spin dribble. Now down 5. You're going to have to try to trap once or twice and then commit a foul.
Spencer Lunger goes immediately to a guard, Ryan Harder. He's a freshman, number 1. First appearance of the game.
You get your best foul shooters on the floor because you know you're probably going to get fouled.
And Kreitzer does just that.
And you see they're going to go offense, defense. Here comes Turner and Billings back into the game. As you need defensive rebounds. This is a 2-shot foul. They're not supposed to let them into the game right now, but I guess they're going to let them in.
So here goes Tyler Fox, scoreless in the first half. He's hit 5 straight free throws.
Credit Tunkhannock for getting the ball into Fox's hands on the inbounds play, knowing they were going to foul Nanticoke, and you get your best foul shooter at the line.
16 points, all in the second half for Tyler Fox.
Yeah, as we said at halftime, he has to have more touches.
Well, like I said too, when you have Kreitzer, you're never out of the game.
That's the second 3 ball that Kreitzer has banked in, and I'm not sure he called either one of them, but he'll take them. There it is. Bank, I guess he called it, yeah.
Oh, he did call?
Yes.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, he called it. But, you know, all right, now if you're Nanticoke, 42 seconds to go in the ball game, certainly a lot of game left. Now, the pressure's off a little bit, Bob, for Tunkhannock, because it's a 2-shot foul now, so it's not a 1-on-1. So there's a little bit of pressure off. What you got to do is, if you're Nanticoke, maybe try 1 trap, maybe 2 traps, but after 4, 5, 6 seconds, you're going to have to foul. You see Tunkhannock with their best foul shooting team on the floor. Look for the ball to come into Fox or Goodwin, I would imagine. Probably try to get it into Fox's hands. You have a experienced guy in Sean Harder taking the ball out. It goes to his brother, and it goes right back to Sean Harder. He's the guy you want to have the ball in his hands.
Harder covers up, and he's going to get fouled. He'll go to the line. Shoot 2. Nanticoke fans not used to losing here at home. They lost 3 games this year, Doug. They lost to Hazleton, Holy Redeemer, and Hanover area.
Yeah.
They're in danger of losing 4 right here to Tunkhannock.
Yeah, you would expect them to lose to Hazleton. I mean, everybody does. They have a dream team down there. Hanover's the one that they let slip away. But they put it behind them. And
Yep. They've won 7 straight. You mentioned that. Their last loss was to Hazleton. Harder makes that. That's his 3rd point of the second half. He had 11 to carry Tunkhannock in the first half, where they trailed by 10, but they made up that deficit and have had it on.
you see Colin Brown and J.J. Bilecki getting into the game. Good job by Coach Johnny Beggs trying to get some younger guys some playing time.
Out of bounds. That's touched by Chilson. You don't need a 3, though.
No,
right? You need a 2 and get a quick foul.
Certainly if one presents itself, you take it, yes. But you don't force it.
There is a timeout, as Baczynski, the sophomore, could not get the ball in.
Yeah, great defense by Tunkhannock, not allowing that ball to come in bounds. Straight man-to-man. A little dangerous at this point in the game, but they handled it pretty successfully. Trying to get Kreitzer for a wide open 3 in the corner, but excellent defense by Tunkhannock. Same thing now, if you're Tunkhannock, you want to do the same thing, play some good, solid defense, maybe get the ball into Kreitzer's hands, try to run a pick and roll or a high pick and pop for him.
How about the strategy for John Beggs after Krupinski went down to say we're going to hold the ball? That's not really their style, and you mentioned that sometimes, and it looks like it went the other way. Better to find out now than in districts.
Yeah, well, a couple things. One is, good job, get the ball inside, take a quick 2, and Johnny Beggs gets a timeout. A couple things there, Bob. You know, they don't need the win per se. You know, they try to get some guys some playing time, some younger guys some experience, put them into a tough spot. You know, the only way you get experience is by diving into the fire. So maybe that was on his mind. There is going to be a time probably when you do have to hold the ball out, and maybe he wanted to practice that in a game-like situation. You never know what goes through a coach's thought process, but got to get some younger guys some experience, and I think that's what he's trying to do in pressure situations.
Well, once again, the district tournament championship games will be held at the arena in Mohegan's Sun, Casey Plaza. You having a chance to get down there before. You got to get down for at least a couple games. It's a cool experience. It's not the best shooting place if you're a team, but it's cool to see the high school kids in a big facility like that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a great arena. I wish they could get the fans a little bit closer to the court, though. That's the only thing, but it certainly is a great experience for the kids playing at the arena.
20 seconds left. Tunkhannock gets the ball in. They need to foul quickly.
Well, you don't want to foul him.
No.
And Spencer Lunger.
Yep, timeout called by Tunkhannock.
Yeah, all he has is a 30, it looks like.
Yep.
No, they're changing it. Yeah, he's going.
I believe he had 2 left. So 14 seconds left.
Yeah. 14 to go. Now, all you want to do if you're Tunkhannock is get the ball into Fox's hands or Harder, one of your experienced guys. You might want to inbound it down in the far end here. But if you're Nanticoke, you got to try to get 1 or 2 traps. And then if it gets into somebody's hands, you like to foul, you foul them immediately. You can't wait too long with only 14 seconds to go. So you might want to foul Harder or Chilson.
Tunkhannock trying to pick up win number 12 with a huge upset over the division champs from Nanticoke. Fox somehow gets out of it, and then he's going to be called for a double dribble. 11 seconds left. This is setting up for a big finish.
Now you might want to take a 3. You got to keep an eye on Kreitzer. Now, if you're Tunkhannock, would you foul, Bob? You have 1 to give.
Right.
Maybe foul once or twice. Just put them in the 1-on-1. Some coaches like to foul so that you can't get beat by the. Well,
you don't want to foul though when a guy's shooting a 3.
Exactly right. You wouldn't get the 3 off, so you wouldn't get into a tie, but
Knocked out of bounds by Harder. So Harder is 6'2". Kreitzer 5'8". Size advantage for Harder.
yeah, Harder has to be careful. I think you said he has 4, so he's got to be careful.
They get it to Kreitzer. He's almost double teamed. Fouled out front. Probably a wise foul, and that if that is Harder, that is his 5th.
Yeah.
At this point, though, in the game, probably a good foul.
Well, he doesn't seem to. They're not getting him, I don't think.
No, they are.
Here comes the big guys. All they want to do is try to grab a rebound here. That's why the big guys are coming back in.
Well,
so
scoreboard had him with 4 fouls.
Yeah, the fans think he has 5 too.
Yeah, I mean the scoreboard had 4 before. That's what I went off of. 3-pointer, Myers no good. Goes out of bounds, 2 seconds left.
Still Nanticoke's ball. Went off to Tunkhannock. So they have one chance to tie it. But they can't.
Knocked away by Fox. Should be about 0.2 seconds left.
They're going to give him some time.
Bruce White Sox going to say. He looked at the clock. I would say 0.2, but that's a catch and shoot.
Well, Andy Kozlowski inbounding the ball. You can't throw the ball into the back court there. Coach Johnny Beggs is saying, hey, what are you doing? We only had 2 seconds. You can't throw it in the back court.
Well, they put Billings on the ball at 6'8".
Well, they have to throw it down this end. You can catch and shoot, but it's got to be real, real quick. With 0.4, you can grab it and shoot it.
Kreitzer from downtown. He's got it! Nate Kreitzer makes it! And we're tied at 47.
Do you believe it? Can you believe that?
There is magic in the Basinski Gymnasium tonight.
Wow.
Here we go, look at it again.
Just enough time to catch and shoot, and he does. And nothing but net. Wow.
Nate Kreitzer, the junior. It's the biggest shot of his high school career.
Well, Bob, let's stay a little longer.
Why not? I mean, seriously, a 14-point lead from the Trojans erased. And Nate Kreitzer at the buzzer from just over the half-court line on the opposite side. Looks at it again. Let's see it again.
On the run, perfect. You got to get it to him on the move. And in rhythm, he grabs it and knocks it down. New life for the Trojans.
Kreitzer 7-3 of the night. He has 1 field goal. He has 23 points in the game.
I can't remember the last time I saw a half-court shot, and we've seen 2 of them tonight.
I thought Bucknell was exciting last night when Kimball McKenzie hit it at the buzzer. But this was from way past half court for Nate Kreitzer.
All right.
Let's play bonus basketball here in Nanticoke. The Trojan fans back in this game.
Wow. Down 5 with 18 seconds to go. Unbelievable.
Kreitzer the scoop, no good.
Good job
He
by
knocked
Colin.
out of bounds off of Turner, goes over to the Trojans.
Colin Brown running that deep, that rebound down and diving on the floor. Saved another possession for the Trojans.
Now if you're Tunkhannock, what are you thinking?
Well,
Happy to be in this position or thinking, boy, we had this one?
Yeah, we did both. You're still happy to be on the road Nanticoke and in overtime.
Fox stripped. It's going to go over and stay with Tunkhannock. Now remember, Sean Harder, number 10, is fouled out for Tunkhannock.
No, he's still in there, Bob. They didn't.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
He
they
has
still-
4 fouls. We think he has 4. We thought he had 5.
he may have 5, but he's still in
Jake
there.
Krupinski has fouled out for Nanticoke, number 22. Harder knocks it out of bounds. And they're going to say it went off of Harder, and it will go over to the Trojans.
Credit Krupinski for blocking his path to that ball. Krupinski looks like he's dead tired, but he's got to finish this one out if he's Nanticoke. He's their guy. Directs traffic like a coach on the floor. You expect the point guard to do that.
That's a kick off of Fox.
Back with the regulars, I guess you'd say, outside of Colin Brown and Myers. You got Brzezinski, Jake Krupinski, and Nate Kreitzer.
Tunkhannock trying to trap.
Yeah. Now you're going to make him come get you. Next one is bonus for
2-shot foul. Colby Pachinski going to go to the line, the sophomore.
yeah, pretty good foul shooter on the year, 73%. Oh, they're going to put, it looks like it's going to be
Goodwin fouled. That's his first in my book. 7th team foul for Tunkhannock. Pachinski,
maybe the 2-shot foul.
first foul shots of the night. Shoots 73% coming in. High this year. He scored 19 against Hazleton. Nanticoke has the lead back.
Yeah, that one looked good all the way. Now, if you're Tunkhannock, you got to go back to plan A. Punch the ball inside. Maybe go inside, outside, but it's got to go toward the basket.
Billings pulls it down at 6'8" and lays it up and in.
Yeah. Everything's got to go toward the basket or down into the post if you're Tunkhannock.
Kreitzer cut off.
You can't do that.
You can't?
He is a heady player.
Yeah.
Though. He knew he was falling out. That was a shot attempt. No, that is illegal.
That is illegal?
That's
I never
illegal.
knew
Throwing
that.
the ball from behind the basket. In the NBA, it was legal. You saw Larry Bird do it one time, but not in high school. Now you got to punch the ball into Billings or to Turner if you're Tunkhannock. They're trying to post up Turner. They
There's
got him.
Turner. They're going to call for a walk. Travel, yep. He took the pass and hopped. Both teams get a timeout in overtime. Colin Brown into the game, number 5.
Yeah.
He's a sophomore.
A lot of guys getting valuable experience in this game for Nanticoke. You're probably going to need it down the stretch, down later
Kreitzer hangs against the 6'8" Billings, and they're going to go the other way and say a foul on Nanticoke, on Shahusky.
on. They're going to put Turner on the line to shoot 2. See what he can do. Pretty good foul shooter at 65%. Not much pressure with the 2-shot foul either. Outside of the fact there's 1:51 to go in the game and you're on the road, I guess that is a little bit of pressure, but Calmly makes both, huh?
Well, that's a senior. 3-point lead.
It allows Tunkhannock to get into their tempo control, little half-court trap.
4-0 run from Tunkhannock here in overtime. Myers lost it. Right into Fox's hands.
Yeah, Coach Lunger wants him to spread things out now, and you'll see the ball in Harder's hands or Fox's hands for this entire possession.
What does this young Trojan team have left? They've had a battle back after losing a 14-point lead.
It looks like they're trying to foul Harder. They're not calling it.
Kurtz is like, what do I have to do?
Yeah.
I'm trying to foul.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he hit him a couple times and put Harder on the line. Sean Harder.
We're still in the 1-and-1. No, we're in double. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're in double. Harder struggles from the line. I guess that's the guy they want to foul.
Well, I have him at 52% on the season.
Yeah, and you wouldn't expect that from a guy that could score like that and a senior.
Misses both.
Well, they fouled the right guy, didn't they?
Yep, 2 big misses. Still a chance for the Trojans. Under a minute to play in overtime.
Yeah, now you don't necessarily need a 3 here. Oh, unless you're that guy.
Well, unless you're Nate Kreitzer, making number 8. We're tied up, 51-all.
He is something else, that guy. That was pretty. That was behind the red line on the floor. That was behind the volleyball line.
Well, the kick can hit for half court and beyond.
He is smooth. That's for sure.
Coach Lunger, is he waiting for the last shot? Will he call a timeout?
There it is. You got it, Bob.
And there is the timeout with 22.6 seconds remaining.
Yeah. A couple schools of thought. You let them play it out if you're Nanticoke, and let them take the last one see if they can beat you. Some guys will foul.
We started the show by showing you the district standings. What does this game mean? Well, if you're Tunkhannock, it means you get into the district playoffs for the 2nd year in a row.
Yeah.
If you're Nanticoke, you lose it. You're probably going to be the 2nd seed.
Yeah, Prep. I think you could still. If you won the next one, you could still
be Wyoming area.
You could still, yeah, because Wyoming area has 14 wins, and they may get to 15, so that'll increase it. Prep has Honesdale left. More than likely, they'll win that one. But Honesdale only has 11 wins. So you don't get. Prep doesn't get a real big boost for beating Honesdale. So I still think that if Nanticoke gets 1 out of 2, they'll take the 1 seed.
How about Nate Kreitzer tonight? 8 from downtown. This one.
He's right on the red line. Look at that.
Red line. And he was banging him in before. He's not banging him in now. And that's not the biggest of the game. The biggest was at the end of regulation. He hit it from beyond half court to tie the game up and send it to overtime. So now Tunkhannock with a chance to win.
A lot of times these games are won on an offensive putback. So if you're
Tyler Fox,
a 3 ball,
drains it.
Can Kreitzer do it again? Bob-eyed.
How about Paczynski? In front of the rim. Big rebound by Tyler Fox. He's fouled.
Well, they crowded Kreitzer. They weren't going to let him beat him again. So it was up to.
Well, you mentioned at the beginning, we talked about Fox and Kreitzer. They were going to trade threes. Well, in the second half, that's exactly what they've done.
Yeah, that's for sure. 8 for Kreitzer, and Fox has. Yeah, that'll clinch it. That gets a. He's got 20 points in the second half, doesn't he?
Yeah, 20 points and 7 from the free throw line. 8 for 8.
And you can see the excitement on Tunkhannock. They are. I have one more.
Almost went, but Tunkhannock comes into Nanticoke and stuns the 2nd seeded Trojans. The final score in overtime, 56-51. Well, Doug, we didn't know what kind of game we were going to get coming in. We definitely got our best game of the season. And when we return, we will talk to the victorious Tigers from Tunkhannock. Woo, what a game.
You're watching Wendy's High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY.
We welcome you back to historic Basinski Gymnasium in Nanticoke, and we've had a historic game here tonight as Tunkhannock comes to Trojan Land and upsets Nanticoke 56-51 in overtime. Joined now by the victorious Tigers, players of the game, Sean Harder. Boy, I asked you, have you ever been a part of a game as wild as tonight?
That was one of the craziest games I've ever been in. I mean, that shot Kreutzer hit was crazy. Ty came down and hit one to seal the game for us, and it was just so much fun.
You raised a 14-point deficit. This win now may get you into the district playoffs, and that was the goal. So talk to me about getting this win.
We just really wanted it so we get in, because we know that if we get in, we can beat anyone. That's what we proved tonight. We just hope to have a fun time in the district playoffs.
What got you back into it?
That defense, we have a really good press, and it just got us going. Our energy, got some steals, and we just got the job done.
We have one more game left, and boy, that's another one you probably need to win against Berwick.
Yeah, that'll be a big win. That's senior night, so a lot of us are looking forward to it, so it should be a fun night.
Well, congratulations. Let's bring this guy in. 20 points for Tyler in the second half alone. You didn't score in the first half, a little bit surprising.
Yeah, they played great defense on me. They played a box and one the whole time, but I think the reason why I had so many points in the second half is that our press created our fast break game, and we just ran and ran.
When I talked to you earlier last week, you talked about how important these games are. So you got this big one. You won 3 out of the last 4. You cut down on. You're playing a little bit better than we talked about last week.
Yeah, we are. We're starting to get more consistent, and like I said before, we can beat anybody. Showed here tonight.
How about this game?
This game was so much fun. I've never been around such a loud crowd, and it was just nuts.
Well, congratulations, okay? You guys go get some water. We'll bring Coach in now. Coach, are you hoarse?
Oh, man, I'm sweating. Let me tell you, I lost about 10 pounds running up and down the sideline, but hats off to Nanticoke. It was a great game. It was so much fun to coach, and, you know, Kreutzer, he's unbelievable. You know, 8 threes tonight, and that one he hit with 0.4 seconds. Not many kids could do that around the area, but so proud of my kids for the way they fought back. And, you know, we said every game's a do-or-die game from here on out, and, you know, hopefully this will put us over the top and go into senior night on Thursday.
You have to be proud because they did trail by 14 points midway through that third quarter.
Yeah, you know, we just kept saying, hey, just keep coming and coming and coming. And, you know, we started playing on the defensive end, and we always talk about offensive rebounds on the other team, and we started getting those defensive rebounds. And we know we have shooters and guys that can make plays, and, you know, it came down to that, and Tyler hit a big shot for us.
Now you have Berwick, you have senior night, always a special night, but just another important game.
Yeah, it really is. You know, Coach Kingery always has those guys playing well, so we know it's going to be a dogfight, but you know, it's a special night for my 6 seniors, and you know, hopefully we'll go out on a W and then go into district playoffs on a high.
Good luck in the districts.
All right, thank you guys so much.
Okay, let's bring Doug Walsh back in, and Doug, a wild one tonight, best game of the year. Give Tunkhannock a lot of credit in erasing that big deficit in the third quarter. They never gave up.
Well, you had the one guy here, Sean Harder, carried them in the first half, and then Tyler Fox came back and carried them in the second half. But, yeah, what a game, a great high school basketball game. Kreutzer, you hate to see somebody lose a game like this, you know, because it was such a great game. But kudos to both teams.
I was going to ask you about Kreutzer, one of the best guards, maybe the best guard in the area.
I'll tell you what, this is only the second time I've seen him, and he didn't have a great game the last time I saw him, but if a college coach is around, this is the kind of guy you want to have run your show. You know, he's the real deal. He's the real deal.
Well, a big win for Tunkhannock might get them into the playoffs. Nanticoke is definitely securely locked. We just don't know if it's a first or second, and boy, that District 2 4A playoffs is going to be crazy.
You could definitely see this game again, because from 1 to 8, there's not much difference. So you may see these two teams lace them up again.
We're going to see teams lace them up on Thursday. Our next game here on MyTV WQNY will be on Thursday. That's Stony Brook as they take on Binghamton University. So for the entire Fox 56 sports crew, for Doug Walsh, this is Bob Ide saying so long from Nanticoke. It's a wild one here in Trojan Lands, and Tunkhannock with the biggest upset of the season.
You're watching Wendy's High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY.